everyone, Tim Schofield here, and Motorola has been making folding phones for a while now with their Razr lineup. However, they're expanding their Razr family with their first ever folding phone, the Razr Fold 2026. I personally prefer folding phones over flip phones. However, they're both great in their own right and have their own use cases. I will be checking out Motorola's new flip phones as well with their Razr lineup. So that's coming soon. Be sure to subscribe so you're notified when those videos go live. But for now, we're gonna take a quick look what comes in the box of the Razr Fold and then get some hands-on with this new flagship foldable from Motorola. Let's get started. Here it is, the first ever Razr Fold from Motorola. It says Sound by Bose at the bottom. Also, the Moto Pen Ultra, which we'll unbox later on in the video. Opening the box of the Razr Fold lets us know we do have that Pantone Lily White color. Thanks for choosing our products. Let's see what else comes in the box. Standard getting started guide plus SIM ejection tool. Finally, you get a USB Type-C to Type-C cable for charging, and they conveniently put a QR code to get the charger. It will charge all the way up to 80 watts with their turbo power charging, so that's crazy fast. And on to what you came to see, the Razr Fold. There is a pre-installed screen protector on the inside screen, so make sure you don't remove that. Anyways, I'm gonna try and delicately take this out. I think I actually have to flip this. I've been doing a really bad job at just annihilating the packaging. So there we go, that was pretty delicate. All right, and here it is, the Razr Fold 2026. So I'm going to boot this phone up for the first time. There we go, Razr. First fold closed, opening it up. There we go. Anyways, I'm gonna take a closer look at the hardware of this folding phone. When it folds, it does fold completely flat. On the bottom here, you've got your SIM card slot, microphones, USB Type-C port, and one of your speakers. I kind of like the brushed look of that kind of surrounding metal on the outside. And then on the right side here is your power button, a couple volume rockers right above it, and then their Moto key, which has some texture right here for some shortcuts. So we'll talk about that in just a second. Make note, there is a little bit of a camera bump. It's sort of just kind of on a ramp and sort of sloping up, and that's their style there. Up towards the top is our other speaker and more microphones. Flipping it over, just a quick look at the spine of the phone. And while I have it here, let's open it up so you can see how it just folds completely connected right here. So a really quality feeling folding phone. It's talking to me now. Close look at that white color. It does say Razr down at the bottom, a Motorola logo in the center. And that brings us to our triple camera system, again with more of that brushed metal look. All three lenses are 50 megapixels. That main sensor is a Sony Lydia sensor. You have an ultra wide angle lens and then a periscope telephoto lens up to 3 times optical zoom and then 100 times super zoom. That one is also a Sony Lydia sensor. Our Razr Fold is all booted up and ready to go. I'm going to run through the startup process, just talk about anything that's noteworthy. That power button does have an embedded fingerprint scanner. You can have touch to unlock enabled, and the sensor's right here. Okay, I thought it was done right away. I was like, man, that was crazy. Anyways, I'm changing position, lifting, and putting it back down. I will say after typing, and right now, there's some really nice feeling haptic feedback. So the haptics feel very premium overall. Just changing these positions, come on. And there we go, all set. Since it runs Android, of course, Gemini is your personal AI assistant. Just a little info about taking care of your foldable phone in case you wanted to read these. You can choose buttons or gestures. You can even change the button order, which is nice because I do like the back button being closer to my right thumb. Regardless, I generally just use the gestures anyways. Hello, Moto. We are all set up and ready to go. Exploring our Moto with Moto AI, like I had mentioned earlier. There we go. It has a lot of different options. Personal AI, Perplexity, Copilot. We'll dive into that in just a second. And right out of the box, they give you an option to completely personalize it with fonts, themes, icons, shapes, and just a lot more. But let's go to our home screen. Oh, looks like we can explore it. I don't need to. Here we are on the home screen, ready to go. It's restoring all of my apps at the moment. I can already tell the higher refresh rates enabled out of the box. This is an 8.1 inch 2K LTPO display, 2484 by 2232 resolution, peak brightness of 6200 nits, a refresh rate from 1 to 120 hertz, plus an 8 to 7.2 aspect ratio. So not quite square, but pretty close. Closing our phone, let's take a peek at this front display, which feels more like a natural, normal candy bar style phone. This is a 6.6 inch P OLED display, 21:9 aspect ratio, protected by Corning Gorilla Glass Ceramic 3. This is 1080p resolution, up to 165 hertz refresh rate. Jumping into settings very quickly, I'd like to go into those display settings and show off all the customization that you have. With colors, they're set to vivid by default, but you can change it to radiant, natural, find what you like. You can really customize it. Display refresh rate, you can choose hyper smooth. So interesting that it says up to 120 hertz when that front display is 165 hertz, inside display 120 hertz, but you can force that higher refresh rate or force a lower one at 60 hertz if you'd like to save that battery life. Also, dynamic video enhancement using Dolby imaging technology to intelligently enhance the videos that you're watching. And right here, a few quick shortcuts. 3-finger swipe to split. So you go up with 3 fingers, it'll split it. You can open up another app. Let's say we want to go to the Play Store. There we go. We got dual apps really quickly. And also, 3 fingers down is screenshot. Now, also want to go to what they're calling the AI key. So if you press and hold that, it will open up that Moto AI that we set up, but I believe you can fully customize it. So if we go to AI key, you can press and hold and double press. So press and hold is Moto AI or no action, and then double press is catch me up or pay attention. So if you hit catch me up, double pressing, it will summarize your notifications, communications, all of that stuff. So it looks like it's really not fully customizable. It seems like you really are limited to Moto's AI with their AI key. This is something I really haven't seen in a while, but I'm really excited about it because I used to use it. I forget which phone it was. If anyone remembers, drop a comment. But slide on the power key to zoom or show quick settings and notifications. Look at that. Can I go up? Yeah. Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of the Pixel with their fingerprint scanner on the back swiping down. I don't know if it was on the power button on any phone, but I actually kind of love this if it works how it should. I'll let you know when I do a full review, but you can change the sensitivity on it too, so you might just have to fine tune it. Let's see if zooming works. Oh, it's probably when you're in Google Maps, etc. So it's not just gonna zoom in on random screens. And Moto has their classic, chop the flashlight, the twist to open up the camera app. You can customize which shortcut it's actually using. Really useful and works how they should. Speaking of going into that camera application, let's just snap some pictures. Shutter speed seems to be pretty quick overall. Again, the 0.5 50 megapixel ultra wide, 2x, 3x optical zoom right here with the 3x. And then if we go all the way up to 6x here and then zooming, like I said, all the way up to 100 times zoom. So excited to take some shots with this. And obviously with it being a folding phone, you want some of these features. You can unfold to take a selfie with the rear camera just by a push of the button. You swipe on the inner screen to get back to your thing. But anyways, there we go. That's me. I've got a ton of backlight. I can take a quick picture and I'm using the main lens on the back. One of the biggest perks is not having to use, one of the selfie cameras. Not that those are bad, but these are obviously just much better. You also have a couple other features. Say you have a kid or something, you can actually turn a cartoon on to get them to look at the phone, and then, oops, didn't mean to do that. You can also just turn the external display on. Maybe people want to see what they see. There we go. All right, quick swap to video. So you can shoot all the way up to 8K 30 frames per second or 4K 60 frames per second, up to 4K 30 frames per second using Dolby Vision, a really nice feature to have. Quickly swiping through, you've got portrait mode, frame match, which is all new actually. So let's say I want to, stand right here. I can snap a picture and look at this. It's kind of trippy, but look at how there's just an overlay on top. So what you do is, let's say you need to you can change how, intense that is, but you give it to someone and then all they have to do is sort of line up the images like so. So now that they're lined up, I can go stand in frame and the picture will be taken how I actually want to. So that's a pretty unique and thoughtful feature. Finally, just a quick look at all of the other features, including a nice pro mode. Opening up the screen and closing it, there are some different settings for when it's folded and not. Going into personalize and foldable devices, this is where you can kind of customize that folding experience. There's a taskbar that you can always show or show by gesture. So if I swipe up, I can gesture, and then this gives you options. You can go to all of your apps so you can quickly find an app. And let's say I want to open up the calculator. If I press and hold, I can drag it out. It'll open up in split screen. You also have the option of opening in freeform, which will be more of a windowed style, which is always very useful if you're looking at something you need to use a tiny calculator. It can also be resized to your liking. There it is, goes all the way in the corner. You can tap on it, so if you want to kind of minimize it there. There's a laptop mode, so to speak, when you put it up kind of halfway like so. Certain apps can utilize different features and you can turn those on and off to your liking. Desk display, if you put it in more of that, what is it, tent mode. And app continuity, this is a big one. Always continue, swipe up to continue, or never. I like swipe up to continue, so sometimes when I close it, I want it to just, lock and be done, but you can have it where it is always there, never continue, etc. Let's test out that fingerprint scanner. Let's go to the lock screen, set it down. As expected with a hardware fingerprint scanner, it's really quick and snappy as soon as you set it down. By the way, this has a good size 6,000 milliamp hour battery using silicon carbon technology, which is the upgrade from lithium ion technology that's been used for so long. So it's nice to see Motorola packing these into their phones. And just for fun, a close, an open, a close, and open. Really satisfying. It feels really good in the hand. Let's use the Moto Pen Ultra on the Razr Fold. Getting started guide, extra pen tip. We've got our pen plus a case, and not just to carry it around. This is actually a charging case that will just pop on in. A little green light lets us know that there is battery. This has a really nice kind of soft touch felt style feel and some grip to it, easy to hang on to. Charged via USB Type-C down at the bottom. Just press in, slide it out. Oh, look, our Razr Fold actually says, hey, Moto Pen Ultra, let's connect. First things first, quick look at that pen Moto icon up at the top. There's a quick little button there, probably for switching inputs and such. Learn about your toolbar, let's take a tour. So there's notes, annotations, screen recordings, hover to magnify, and those are the quick tools that I assume you can customize. Let's continue through. There's a notes companion so you can handwrite. Looks like a little icon right here. As expected, you could tap on to get to all of those shortcuts, but let's go into settings. It's connected via Bluetooth. You can customize that toolbar and even use quick shortcuts to apps. It seems like swipe gestures work really well too. Pen controls will get you to a knock knock, which flips your pen and double tap on a flat surface to take a screenshot. Oh, that's sweet. Actually, really kind of a unique and really fun way to take a screenshot. Actions. Single press of that button, open the toolbar. Long press that button will annotate, but you can also have it do a new note, hover to magnify, or even circle to search. So let's press and hold. So I think it should allow you now to just write on the screen like it's a screenshot that you're writing on. I love that. You can hit download, you can change your inputs, and within specific apps, you can customize what that button will actually do. So camera right here. Use pen actions in camera. So let's go back to that camera app. And then if I press the button, it should snap a picture. Yeah, since it's Bluetooth enabled, it can actually control your camera, so you can set it up, especially with a folding phone, and just press a shutter button built into that pen. I took that top sticker off so it's just a nice clean look to it, but pretty easy to just find where it slides in, pop it on in. Anyways, that is everything I want to talk about for now with the brand new Razr Fold from Motorola. Overall, pretty impressed so far. Excited to really put this to the test. Try it out. A lot more content coming soon. So be sure to click that subscribe button. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And as always, thanks for watching.